Daniel's here. What a terrible news to wake up to.
Just awful. Just awful. 31 years old, goes out to Argentina to support his former bandmate in his tour and doesn't come home. The statements that we've got from the police and the ambulance service kind of give us a little bit more detail about what happened. The police say that Lee and James Payne, this is their statement, saying that the composer and guitarist of the former band member of One Direction died after falling from the third floor of a hotel in Palermo. The statement from the ambulance service who went to attend the call, they say that they arrived there within 6 minutes of receiving the call, that they say they found a person lying on the internal patio at Casa Sur, that's the hotel that Liam was staying in, and they found that he had the injuries that he had suffered as a result of the fall proved to be fatal. They say that there was no possibility of resuscitating him. There are also reports from people who had heard a loud bang in the courtyard shortly before a body was discovered. All of these details very, very distressing for the family and friends of Liam Payne, who will be waking up this morning in disbelief that someone that they loved and knew is no longer with us.
Yeah, a report suggesting he fell something like 40 metres in the late afternoon. Reports saying that his injuries were not sustainable with life. In the hours before that, he had been made aware of his actions, and the authorities within the hotel contacting the police.
That's right. Reports around an aggressive man who may have been under the effects of drug and alcohol were the reports coming from the hotel. The autopsy obviously has not been completed yet, so at this stage we don't know what, if anything, was in his system. But as I say, the key thing here, just this loss of life. 31 years old, such a young age, and someone who is a father, leaving behind a young son. It's very, very distressing news indeed.
It certainly is. He was there to see a concert of Niall, who was one of the other band members formerly in One Direction. I actually saw Niall just yesterday. He was not aware of this. He's now back in the UK. And he left. His girlfriend, I don't think, was with him anymore. And whatever happened to this young man, he was overwhelmed by drugs or alcohol or both. He has been in rehab previously, hasn't he?
He has, and we saw him speaking about that within a Sky documentary from 2019, and he has been very open about his experiences there. But as I say, at this particular point, no autopsy has been completed yet, so we don't know everything about what was or was not in his system at the time. But as I say, the detail knowing that this young man is no longer with us, having gone to go and support a friend, performing in Argentina, just heartbreaking, really.
Yeah. We'd seen the images of him, actually, with his girlfriend, Miss Cassidy. She is reported to have been with him just a few days earlier, having then gone on to carry on with her everyday life. And this is what he has posted on social media just a couple of days ago.
Morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
It's very difficult when you know someone who's now dead at such a young age and you see them very much alive just a few hours earlier.
Absolutely. What was interesting there for me was the fact that this was shared on Snapchat, relatively new social media app. when One Direction came around in 2010, Instagram was barely a thing. And these guys have gone on to just unbelievable success, unbelievable recognition around the world. When they were in the final of the X Factor, 17 million people watched it. It was the most watched event of the year. Rihanna was a guest appearance in that final. They didn't even win the final.
It was third,
People might forget that, but it was this group that really went on to solidify themselves in the hearts and minds of the public around the world, releasing 5 albums, 70 million record sales around the world. Liam eventually went on to release a solo album. The group, kind of releasing all of their records between 2010 and 2015 before they paused and went on this hiatus and haven't, come back together since. And, that for many fans there would have been hopes that perhaps they were going to reconcile like so many other bands have in the past, but clearly, if that ever happens in the future, sadly, now it will not be without Liam.
Absolutely. Well, tributes have been paid to Liam on social media. Dermot O'Leary, who presented the X Factor, shared this picture as he recalled Liam Payne auditioning for the first time.